Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a spade review on the HE-177 A-5. Now, looking at the repair cost of this thing, I actually was going to ignore it and just let it gather dust, but I thought I'd give it a chance, and well, I'm very glad I did. I've had a lot of fun with this bomber. The HE-177 is obviously the last rank 4 and the last propeller-driven bomber that I have to spade in Germany, so I'm sort of sad. But at the same time, what a way to go out. This thing was awesome. So the HE-177 is obviously, well, it's a heavy bomber, so you do get a heavy bomber spawn, well, a long-range bomber spawn, shall we say. And well, this thing can make up for its crappy bomb load once you get it spaded and all that. So your stock bomb load is pretty poor at 48 50 kilo bombs. Personally, I find to be about 30 of them to make a sufficient base kill, shall we say. Personally, yeah, I mean it's mixed result. It depends on the map, but I tend to be about 30 of them. If you're not sure, just drop the whole lot and hope for the best. You will probably need a couple of passes to do it, because obviously I do have it set to a bomb, what's it called, like a bomb series and all that. So that's how I did it. The next payload you can unlock is 12 to 50 kilo. Pretty decent. It takes 7 in most maps to kill a base. 3 500s to kill a base, so you get 2 bases there. SC-1000, you do get obviously you get an option of killing basically all the bases, depending on the BR. Then here comes the fun part. Satans, you get 2 of them. But guess what? You don't have to just take Satans and you only get 1 base, or 1 drop on the airfield. You can take 2 Satans and 6 500-pound bomb, well, 500 kilo bombs, sorry. That's incredible. The Satans will one-tap any base, and 3 500s will be more than enough to kill a base, unless it's Brewer, in which case you'd have to drop 4 or 5, because well, Brewer's bugged at the moment. And then here comes the weird one. 3 PC 1400X bombs, aka the Fritz X. I've only used this thing once, and it wasn't on this bomber, it was on the 111 H6. I don't know how this bomb works, so, well, obviously, I know it's a radio guided bomb, so you would, like, you'd set up keybinds so that you could manually adjust where the bomb is heading after you dropped it. I personally don't see the point in them, unless it's naval forces, in which case you could use these very effectively. Otherwise, just stick with general bomb loads and you should be fine. Turrets, you're going to want to set them to universal, they are the best. In terms of the 13 mils, I'd go with armored targets because of the tracers and it makes them fuck off easier, in my opinion. Like, more people tend to shit themselves when they see more tracers flying out of a bomber. That's just my experience. There is only 1 turret on this bomber that has a 7.92, and I believe it is this one here. Yes, it is. And well, I never got to fire it, so I can't say if it's really worth the money of putting in a different belt, but that's subject to your opinion. So you have 120mm in the front, which, I mean, it's useful. You've then got Hans sitting here, commanding this radio-controlled turret here, which has twin 13mm machine guns. You then got another Hans sit here with a single 13mm. You've got another Hans with a 20mm in the back, and that's pretty much your defensive armament. It's not bad. I will say that, it's not bad. And from the rear, it's really good, because obviously you can get this turret firing, you can get this turret firing, and you get this 20mm firing. Now, lower protection only comes in the form of a single 13mm. It's not the best, so if you're getting attacked from below the bomber, it's not great, but if they come up behind just enough, you might be able to depress the 20mm. And well, this 20mm is an absolute beast, because you get 800 rounds, and it's an absolute monster. That I will say. Especially with all the meaningless shots that's going to fly at the tail of this thing. Now let's go into the repair cost. Let's have a look. I finished this plane with 1 free repair left. 1. Yeah, needless to say, this bomber had me on edge because I was so concerned about losing all my free repairs. and having to pay a 55,000. Obviously, that doesn't include bomb load payouts and armament payouts, just to say. But 55,212, I was bombing myself. But it got done before that. So let's go over the stats. Obviously, stats will not show the amount of bases that I killed. I lost count. But I was actually only I can't remember how far I was off from unlocking the next skin on this aircraft, because this is a different skin on this aircraft that I have at the moment. Where's the 177, or am I just blind this morning? Probably the latter, because I'm blind this morning, it seems. HE-177, where are you? I'm blind as a bat this morning, so I can probably hear you screaming at the screen. Here we are. HE-177, 11 kills, 4 deaths, 23 ground targets. And if I had to hazard a guess, around about 20 bases. Obviously, this is one of the skins that you can unlock. I prefer this skin, so I put it on. The other skin, I am, just over 0.8 of a ton away from getting it. Obviously, all that'll take is just the Satans to drop, so I'll probably take it out at some point and just drop the Satans and go back to base, personally. So, let's jump into the battle and let's see what I got up to in the HE-177 A-5. And we have a cameo appearance today by Mr. Raptor Jesus. He decided to join me for a couple of flights because I announced in the Discord that I might need some fire support. And, well, he wanted to tag along. And I said, sure thing, you can tag along. And, well, the only issue is that Raptor Jesus doesn't actually have any 5.3 aircraft, so he brought along a D5 Stuka, I think it was, or at one point he brought along a G1 Stuka. But even so. So, let's get rolling. Obviously, I haven't got the plane spaded, or the spaded at this time in terms of bomb load. So I have the 6 500 kilo bombs on board. I didn't have the Satans. Mr. Raptor Jesus is trying to climb up to me with a D5 Stuka with 20mm gun pods and some ridiculous looking... That's just ridiculous, man. With some weird looking face, well, shall I say nose art, and obviously we was communicating via Discord. And well, we learned just how good the defensive armament on this aircraft is. So Riot XCat puts in chat, you want to save if you want to get all 3, and I'll save for the airfield. Unfortunately, I can only get 2 bases at this time. It wasn't long after this battle that I actually got the Satans. But this battle was really, really fun. I have to say that. It was really, really fun. We also get a guest appearance by a guy named Red5X5, I believe it is. And he is going to chase me like a bitch. Like, he just focused my 177. I don't know why, because it doesn't pay off for him, but yeah, whatever. One thing I did learn about spading this plane is that it really does like to climb. It is a surprisingly good climber for a bomber of this size. Now, fun fact about this aircraft, the engines that are on this thing are actually 2 V12s, well, pretty much welded together. You're basically powered by 2 24-cylinder inline Daimler-Benz engines, and they are incredibly powerful. However, historically accurate. What do I mean by that? Well, historically, the engines on these things used to overheat like crazy and could cause fires. Again, that is historically accurate in the game as well. The engines are very vulnerable to fires. So do take that into account. You're not invincible, like I pretty much felt myself. In terms of armor protection, this aircraft has some lower armor, it has some turret armor for the rear turret, and it has some armor for the crew cabin, shall we say, well, the cockpit, shall we say. Unfortunately, Hans in the 2 dorsal turrets there, they do not have any armor. But this airplane's construction is actually surprisingly tough. You get to see that. It is a very tough aircraft. And let me tell you, this thing was a joy to spade. But obviously this is the game where I learned how good the defensive armament is. So we're in a bit of a shall we say, we're in a bit of a dead zone at the moment, so I am simply just going to jump ahead. Obviously, you can see down there, you can see all the desperate tryhards. And there's a guest appearance of today, Mr. Red 5X5. He's going to be chasing me for an awful long time, is all I'll say. So the 177 and the 264 are going to take a base each. I'm going to take a base, so I'll be able to get some bombs off and get some points. Obviously, I could kill 2 bases if I wanted to, but I decided to only target 1. 3 bombs out, bomb doors shut, and obviously I'm monitoring Mr. Red 5X5. He has actually got a plane behind him, but a P-47 is going to make sure that doesn't happen. And this Mr. Red 5X5 is going to be spending an awful long time chasing me in his F Mark 9 Spitfire. And as you can tell, you'd expect him to have the brain cells, but quite clearly he doesn't. I think personally he was just looking for only bomber kills. So obviously, bombs I've just landed on target. I've got my first base. I put in chat why I have a 2-second bomb fuse as well. Ample time to say, oh shit. That's just how it is. And, well, no one responded to that, surprisingly. Raptor Jesus found it funny, but that's really it. But surprisingly, I didn't really need fighter escort in this thing. I was surprisingly having a lot of fun without fire escort. So that dot that you saw then was Mr. Red 5X5. He's going to spend pretty much the entire game chasing me. Yeah, he doesn't benefit anything from it, let's just say. So obviously I'm coming over the airfield now. Obviously 3 500s will do, I mean, it'll do something to an airfield, but not too much. Obviously, there they go. I do love the new bomb whistle sound effects. I do have to say that. Some guy in chat for some reason puts effing muslin. I know exactly what he was trying to say, but I don't get how he could say anything like that. I mean, it's because he probably got killed by one of the Turk guys. So obviously, at this point, I see the Spitfire coming in, and I take evasive action. This thing's actually rather maneuverable for its size. Hans in the lower end area starts opening up on him. But there's more than just that that Spitfire. As poor Raptor Jesus is about to find out. There's that P-38 there is a P-38L. An incredibly good fighter on bad teams. Better if you can't attack on a K4, but we'll gloss over that. But of course, our team at the moment is reduced to just Raptor Jesus, 1 Focke-Wulf 190 A-5, 2 177s including myself, and an ME-264. Yeah. And poor Raptor Jesus has just been found by the P-38. The Spitfire Mark 9 is actually firing at over 1.2 miles away to try and get shots into my 177. But there's another hidden secret about this aircraft. It actually dives really well. I've been able to get about 420 to 440 miles an hour out of it in most situations. And it's at this point in chat, well in Discord, where I say to Raptor Jesus, oh shit. And you can fully understand why I said that, since there's 2 Corsairs. I prioritise the F4U4, and we'll blow him to bits. That's the first kill. Raptor Jesus, unfortunately, has just been nailed by the P-38. Well, no, it's the Spitfire that's just nailed him, sorry. And, well, I'm actually outrunning both of them because they pulled up for a stall climb. The P-38 breaks off to go for Raptor, and, well, Raptor's dead at this point. He's had a bad day. And there goes Raptor down in a ball of flame. I believe he actually took one of the Spitfires to the grave with him. So, if I remember right, yeah, he took down he took down one of the Spitfires. He took down the Mark 16. You had a bomb on him. Why would you have a bomb on a Mark 16 Spitfire? So obviously, Raptor's now spectating me, and well, I want to get back to my airfield as soon as possible. But obviously, Red 5X5 is not very smart, so he tailgates a 177 and pays the price. Second kill. And if you look at the actual aircraft damage model, this thing doesn't care. It is surprisingly well built. Well, it's German. What do you expect? I mean, it's like this aircraft can run surprisingly long without oil in its engines. It can actually glide rather well as well. I had an instance where I had a double engine failure because of oil damage, and well, it actually glides rather well. Managed to get it back to base until I got vulged by some Spitfire, who is a skillless scumbag. He got killed by the AAA at least, but not until after I died. But here's the dive speed coming into effect. Look at the airspeed indicator there, folks. It is incredible. Now, obviously, you do have to be careful once you hit around the 460 region, but this thing's incredible with its dive speed. I was really surprised by it. I can sort of see why now. In one of Airyfeet's videos where he did the, what was it, the US LA, or US LF Mark 9, which apparently is a load of crap because I never used them. Well, apparently I never used them. The 177 in that video that he actually showed was almost outrunning him. And I can see why. And well, let's just say, Airyfeet's just lucky that he got the shots into the gunners that he did, because otherwise the 177 would have torn him into an arsehole. I have had one LF Mark 9 try and hunt me down. It didn't end well for him, let's just say that. And at this point, I look behind me, and well, we've got vultures. Obviously, I'm coming in for the airfield landing, but nope, they're trying to vulture us. P-47 and a F4U Corsair. I mark out to not only Raptor Jesus, who couldn't see the darts, I also mark it out for the ME-264. And let's just say we're going to have a bit of chasey-chasey. The 177, as I said, it's surprisingly fast. I'm able to get towards my airfield for a bit of AA assistance, as well as the 264. And this thing's surprisingly quick even on the deck. I mean, it's incredible, this aircraft. I've really had a lot of fun with it. But it's at this point where the end of my 177 is coming in to effect, shall we say. I put in chat, bandit on my 6 low, 264, do not land. And he doesn't land, he listens to me. Surprisingly. And well, there's one of the Corsairs, or the Corsair, it's an F4U1C Corsair, it's the one I didn't kill earlier on. In fairness, I probably should have gone for him first, but I had more problems than that. There's a P-47 D-28 coming in hot. And these guys were fucking desperate to end us. Right, XCat puts in chat, can we lure them to the airfield? I kept on going, I did not turn back for the airfield like that 264 did. And the 264 is going to die because of it. I kept on going. I didn't really want to use the AA as much as I could. I mean, the P-47 took a hit from it. But that 264 is now dead. And obviously I get reset by the map border. And at this point, I turn away from the airfield because I want to fight these guys. I want to see what this thing can really do. The P-47 starts spraying and praying, as you typically would expect. Because, well, he can't aim for shit, so he has to spray and pray. Now, obviously, I do want to kill the P-47 preferably first, because there's long-range 50 cals, and he is firing tracers. I do score a couple of hits for the 20mm, which surprisingly gets him to, well, not just slow it down a bit, but he contemplates firing at the ranges that he can, because I can hit him. And the trouble is, he doesn't know which tracer is the 20mm. I do, it's the white tracer, not the green tracer. The green tracer is the 13mm. Well, the greenish, obviously. I am colorblind, so, well, certain colors, so do bear that in mind. So obviously, I'm focusing the P-47 due to its armament at longer ranges, but obviously, as we're getting closer, I focus the Corsair. And, well, the Corsair is just tail sitting. He's not even trying to avoid the 20mm in the back. And, well, he scores a crit, but I score a lot worse. I hope you brought some marshmallows, my friend. 4th kill because the Corsair crashes right after the P-47 crashes, and I get the kill on the P-47. However, it is at this point that I've suffered critical damage. The left wing is completely, well, pretty much black. I've lost one aileron. She's fucked pretty dang bad. And I'm trying to fight the controls here, but there's not much I can do. I'm trying to get it back to the airfield. I'm trying to use the rudder and everything, what I have left. But at this point, I just didn't know it was futile. This aircraft tried to get itself back to the runway, but the lack of controllability just didn't let me, really. Because, well, once you lose an aileron in a big bomber, it really struggles. Panzer 1943 Curse puts in chat how you survived, and I just said no fucking idea, because, well, the durability really has shown itself here, while the fuel tank is actually damaged as well, but... he puts in chat, by the way, still 40k repair. Yeah, I still have 3 repairs. I put a wiki base in chat. But it's at this point, I'm trying to get her in, I'm coming in for a landing approach, but as I get slower, the left wing is going to start to dip, and you can see it happening now. I've got full aileron, or full right aileron lock, and well, I put the wheels down, and then I soon decide, no, I don't think this is gonna work out with wheels, so I thought, nope, not gonna go for a wheel landing. I probably should have gone for a wheel landing, but even so, I put the flaps down, and that's where I make my fatal mistake. I shouldn't have put the flaps down, I should have just put the gear down, but at that point, there wasn't much I could do to save the plane. I suppose on the plus side, I'm fairly certain most of the crew survived that. Fair enough, not Hans in the tail section, unfortunately. But if that doesn't give you an idea of what this 177 can do, I don't know what will. So like I say, even though the repair cost is scaringly high, it is incredibly good to fly. It has incredibly good defensive armament, it's got great durability, and it's got a great bomb load, so what more could you want? Like I say, you're going to have to watch your engine temperatures, you're going to have to watch for fires and everything, because they will kill you. And your biggest threat, surprisingly, when I was spading this thing, was actually Spitfires and Mustangs chasing me down. But even so, it was really fun to spade, I really enjoyed it, and well, I highly recommend people give it a go. And obviously this is the last German bomber spade that I have for a while, unless anything new comes. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the HE-177, and I will see you all on the next one.